Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyers Guy, and welcome to another review of another Philadelphia Flyers season. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the 2005-2006 Philadelphia Flyers. This was the post-lockout season for the Philadelphia Flyers. There was a new, revamped National Hockey League with a new logo, which I don't like, and a lot of different new rules implemented for the 05-06 season. Let's also not forget that behind the net, there was a trapezoid, so that area behind the net was a lot smaller than it used to be. If a goaltender got caught in that trapezoid trying to make a play, it would be a penalty. It would be a delayed game penalty. This was a new season for the Flyers. In the summer prior to this new season, the Flyers made a shocking signing Peter Forsberg to the Philadelphia Flyers. Peter Forsberg came in with a lot of promise, a Hall of Famer, and a damn good hockey player. Also in the mix was new players Mike Knuble, Mike Rafsky, Darian Hatcher, and veteran player Brian Savage. Later in the season, Flyers acquired two players to the lineup: Demi Gauthier, and Peter Nedved. This season showed a lot of promise for the Flyers. With the addition of Peter Forsberg, they also signed Nikos Dimitriakos as well. This Flyers team was ready and willing to have a great season. This was the first year of Jeff Carter, and Mike Richards made the Philadelphia Flyers official debuts. The season started out rocky as the Flyers lost to the Rangers in the first game. Flyers then had an epic comeback victory over the New Jersey Devils in the second game, and two pretty good games as well. This Flyers team showed a lot of promise. Although Peter Forsberg dealt with a lot of injuries, this Flyers team had a lot of depth to it. And their two goalies were Robert Esche and Terry Mackey. Robert Esche started to not do as well this season. Last season, he was stellar in the playoffs. But it was entirely Niittymaki that had the fans really talking about maybe making Niittymaki the number one goaltender. Let's do an overview of the schedule for the Philadelphia Flyers today. Hang on, I'm looking for the schedule. Looking for the schedule here. I'll be right back. Just looking for the schedule here, so stay patient with me, folks. Take a look at their schedule here. So as the Flyers season went along, one of their best players. Keith Primo was taken out, and his career was officially over due to a concussion in a game the game the Flyers had against the Montreal Canadiens. In the first game of the season, Flyers lost to the Rangers 5-3. Ended up beating the Devils 5-2 in the next game. Losing to the Toronto Maple Leafs in their third game. They beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in a wild 6-5 win. Then beating the Islanders 5-1. And then beating the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-2, where Mike Richards scored an epic short-handed goal for that team. Flyers lost to the Canadiens 3-2 in overtime. That was the game where Fremont got injured. But then, on October 27th, facing off against a very good Florida Panthers team, getting a 5-4 overtime victory. Now the Flyers faced off in a wild 8-6 loss to the Hurricanes on October 28th. And then losing to the beating the Ottawa Senators 5-3 on October 30th. Then on November 3rd, the Ottawa Flyers beat the November 3rd. The Flyers beat the Washington Capitals 8-1. And then beating the Atlanta Thrashers 4-3 on November 5th. Then beating the Boston Bruins 4-3 for an overtime win. Then facing off against the Islanders, getting the 3-2 win, and then Florida Panthers, Flyers at the 5-4 win. That was the game where Mike Knivel scored with a minute left in the third period to give the Flyers the victory. Then the Flyers faced off against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a 2-1. It was a 5-2 loss to Tampa. And then facing off against Pittsburgh Penguins, a 3-2 overtime loss on November 16th. And then facing off against the Atlanta Thrashers, losing to the Thrashers 6-5 in overtime. Facing off against the Penguins, it was a 6-3 Flyers win in Pittsburgh on November 19th. Then on November 22nd, Flyers took on Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a 4-2 loss to the Lightning. They're facing off against the Boston Bruins, and it was a 5-3 victory. And then on the 26th, the Islanders came in, beat the Flyers 4-2. And then Flyers faced off against the Islanders once again. Flyers got their payback with a 4-3 win. Then on the 30th of November, it was the Flyers and the Devils in action. Flyers with a 2-1 win against the New Jersey Devils. Then it was the Flyers and the Preds on December 3rd. Flyers with the 4-3 shootout loss. And then facing off against the Calgary Flames, Flyers get a 1-0 victory over the Calgary Flames in a shootout. Then it was the Edmonton Oilers. Flyers with a 3-2 loss on December 8th. And then facing off against the Minnesota Wild on December 10th. That was a 3-2 Flyers win and faced against the Columbus Blue Jackets. That was a 3-1 win for the Flyers. Then on the 15th of December, it was a 5-4 loss to the Vancouver Canucks. Then the Flyers faced off against the Blues on the 17th of December. It was a 5-2 win. Then facing off against the Sabres on 12/29, on the 19th of December, that was a 2-1 loss to the Sabres. They shootout. Then leaving out on Senators on the 22nd of December, 4-3, a 4-3 win. Then facing off against the Pittsburgh Penguins on December 23rd, it was a 5-4 Flyers victory. Flyers then faced off against the Florida Panthers. That was a 3-2 shootout victory, and then the Atlanta Thrashers, that was a 4-3 overtime win, and then Carolina Hurricanes on the 29th, that was a 4-3 overtime win. And then facing off against the Caps on the 31st, there was a 4-3 shootout. Boston then facing off against the Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins on January 2nd, that was a 1-0 Flyers win, and the Rangers, and so on. So on, Flyers had a pretty good record in regular season. They went on a bit of a losing streak late in the season, but then were able to make the playoffs with a few good wins, a few epic wins for the Flyers, which were comeback wins. Flyers, I will get into the playoffs. Flyers then faced off in the playoffs against the Buffalo Sabres. Let's go right into that. Flyers then went into the playoffs to face off against the Buffalo Sabres, a team that the Flyers had a little trouble with in the 05-06 season. The Flyers were going into the playoffs against the very good and fast Buffalo Sabres team. Flyers faced off the Sabres in Game 1. Flyers lost that game in overtime. Then in Game 2, the Sabres dominated the Philadelphia Flyers in the second game. In Game 2, it was a really bad loss for the Flyers, getting beat by the Buffalo Sabres 8-2. In Game 2, it was up to the Flyers as the Flyers were in it. In Game 3, Flyers got the victory. In Game 3, Sabres were able to get one goal back in that game. It was the Flyers who got the Game 3 victory of the series. The series was at 2-1 Buffalo. Flyers then were able to tie the series up in Game 4 as the Flyers beat the Sabres. Again, not really in a convincing fashion, as Buffalo was able to add a late goal once again. But the Flyers were able to hang on with the game for a victory. They go into Buffalo for Game 5, and they lose to Buffalo. In Game 5, Buffalo takes a 3-2 lead. In the series, the Flyers come back to Philly for Game 6, and it's the Buffalo Sabres who get a 7-2 victory in Game 6, eliminating the Flyers in the first round of the playoffs. A very disappointing and upsetting end to the 05-06 Philadelphia Flyers season. There are many factors. A lot of Flyers season didn't go well. The injury to Keith Primeau really affected this team a lot. If Keith Primeau would have stayed healthy and didn't get hurt, Flyers probably would have got past the first round against the Buffalo Sabres. Let's not forget the injury to Peter Forsberg, who kept having a nagging injury in his foot that year, which kept him out of the lineup for several games late in the season. Forsberg would show up for the pre-skates But then later, it was a game time decision that Forsberg would not be playing. This season was very disappointing for many Philadelphia Flyers fans. This was the first year I actually started using MySpace. And a lot of people were writing down how disappointed they were about this season. This was a fun season, even though it was short, even though it ended in the first round of the playoffs. This was still a memorable Philadelphia Flyers season. This season, Mike Richards and Jeff Carter really showed Philly what they had that year. They were two of the best rookie players on this hockey team. And Terry Lamanaki had a great season as well. Robert Esch's season was a bit subpar. This Flyers team did everything they could. They had a pretty decent season. But the fact is, their playoff performance was subpar. It wasn't good enough for this team. This team should have been better. This team could have been better. But unfortunately, it didn't end that way. I look back at this season as new beginnings for this Flyers team. The shootout was a challenge that year. So this was the first year of the shootout. The Flyers were that was one of their challenges, was the shootout, which would have been a challenge for the Flyers several years after that as well. But this team was only the beginning for this team. They were going to have some bumps in the road in the following season, which I'll talk about in my next video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my discussion of the 2005-2006 Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to dread doing the next episode. I'm really going to dread doing the next episode. But I gotta do it. So my next episode, I'll be discussing the 06-07 Philadelphia Flyers. Stay tuned. I don't know how I'm going to do that one.